Welcome back to It's Pod O'Clock. Match week 7 and 8. I do apologize. Okay, I owe you all an apology. For those of you that do have a routine that, for some reason, stems around this 45 minutes or so. Obviously, the international break, my birthday, my 30th birthday. I know some of you in the watch-alongs are sick and tired of hearing about my birthday, but it is not me. It has not been me that has been banging on, prattling on about it. It has been people, you know, as it was the final game before this international break that has just finished. People have come back and, you know, carrying on the well wishes, the birthday wishes. But I can confirm the birthday is over. The birthday is long gone. In fact, it was about 2 weeks ago today. Maybe even 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. I don't know. I'm already rambling. 30 seconds into Liverpool versus Manchester United. Tottenham have just lost at home to a rather poor, a rather out of form Aston Villa, given their recent standards over the last few seasons. But there's a lot to go through, of course. Match week 7, briefly. And by match week 7, I'm obviously meaning Chelsea versus Liverpool. And then, of course, more recently, match week 8, as Mbeumo has just made it 1-0. 1 minute into the game at Anfield. A stadium in which Manchester United have not won at since 2016, 15, I think. Maybe even 2014. But Brian Mbeumo, absolutely, you know, it's a fantastic finish. It really is. It could be given as a free kick in the build-up, as there is naturally a player down for Liverpool in the build-up. Anyway, this is all obviously in the past now. But as I frequently try to do, is record these on the Sunday afternoon before I upload Monday morning for the 4:30 kickoff. Today, obviously, being Liverpool, the current champions, versus Manchester United, of which, of course, I would argue that if Manchester United get a win here today, Arsenal could already have one hand on the trophy. And it's, not looking good. I don't know if I can live in a world where Arsenal win the Premier League. You know, number 10 is number 10 Verts, possibly. I can see the memes already. Anyway, listen, FPL. There's no foul there, ref. There's no foul there. FPL, we'll go through very quickly because it's all a bit all over the place, to be honest with you. I haven't updated my FPL team in a couple of weeks now. However, as of game week 8, in fact, I'll go back to game week 7, if that is, in fact, possible. Game week 7. I had 57 points. I did have Alisson Becker in goal. That obviously was a bit of an error. Semenyo got me 18 points. That's fantastic. Timber got me 11 points. Gabriel got me 9 points. Mo Salah, 4 points somehow. Unsure. Jean Pedro with 2. Mateta with 2. Rogers with 5. And the list goes on. 57 points. The average was 60. So, you know, not great. This week, game week 8, I've got to say up my Uta. Sorry. I recently just groomed Rufus and my nose. I genuinely think I'm allergic to dogs. I was fine with cats. I had cats for nearly, 18 years. And, sorry, it's McAllister that's number 10, not Verts. Verts is number 7, is he not? McAllister now wearing a swimming cap Looks rather silly, I've got to say. I know with hair like I have right now, I'm not one to talk about silly. I'm growing my hair out, okay? I'm growing it out. It's an absolute abomination right now, but I haven't done it today, and I was in a bit of a rush, in a pinch. The average for game week 8, 44. Highest is 132. 26 points for Haaland. I don't quite get how that equals 134 points. I'll be completely honest with you. That is an outrageous amount of points. Zeki. 63 points is what I have. I still have Alisson in goal because I forgot to take him out. Mo Salah with 2 points. I guess because he's captain. He's my captain, and I need to uncaptain him because Salah is just not the beans these days, is he? He's just not really doing what Mo Salah is meant to do. I think the only thing that he does still do is score very late goals after completely disappearing. I had Matoma in, which I don't think he played. Mateta scored a hat-trick. I used to have him as a captain or vice-captain, so that would have been great. 17 points from him. 12 points from Neto as Gakpo crosses it in. But a good outing, not terrible. I'm currently 46th in my league. It's not amazing. It's got to be said. Yeah. It's not great. Top of the league for us at the moment, James Caulfield, whose team name is Chelsea FC. Very, very, very original there. 519 points. I currently sit with 410. So it's going to take some doing to get back up to the top in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, there we go. Right. Should we quickly glance over what is quickly turning into a not very impressive result? A big result, a humongous result, not only for Chelsea, but of course, Esteval with his very late goal for Chelsea. What seems to be a lifetime ago at this point. We've had another international break, of course. But it was on Saturday. It was, yes, 2-1. 95th minute goal from Esteval. Caicedo with a fantastic goal as well to open the score sheet. Put Virgil van Dijk into early retirement with that. And well, I say early retirement. The geezer's like 40 now, and how old is Virgil? 34. Listen, in that game, it seemed as though I retract what I said in terms of it wasn't impressive based on the fact that Manchester United are now beating them at the moment. It's only 7 minutes or so that's gone. But all the same, you factor in the lineup we had. We had Gusto in midfield. We had Garnacho on the pitch. I know, he splits opinion. I wouldn't even say it's 50-50. We'll get into him. But the performance, I mean, it was a pretty good performance from him, actually. I'm already preemptively going to the Forest game. But you lose Achimpong, you lose Badiashile, our two backup to our backup. They're not even our first or second. Sorry, they're not even our first choice backups, so to speak. We're without Colwill. We're without, what's his name? Wesley Fofana, who, I mean, again, I'll get into that in a fucking second, but I'm sick of him. I'm absolutely sick and tired of Wesley Fofana. But to go into this game against the champions, against the leading, the current reigning champions, with a shoddy defense as it was, arguably, we still had the best right back and best left back in the league? In the world? Who says no? Who says no? Potential penalty there for Liverpool. It's a huge result regardless, it's a massive result. And given the fact that I think in the build up to this podcast, even in the last episode, I think it was, let me actually get up. I need to see what the title was for the last episode, because I think I was fairly, going at Enzo Maresca. Time up for Enzo Maresca. Maresca in or Maresca out was the title. And plenty of people said that, it could be time up for him. And it just goes to show that a few results really can switch things around, because you look at our run up to that point where I'm already asking that question. A draw on the opening day against Crystal Palace, who at the time, obviously going for a very good period of play, good, a run in their record that subsequently has continued to go on until, the last few weeks. A win, 5-1 against West Ham, a win against Fulham. Then there was a draw. The draw against Brentford was where it all started kind of going wrong, more or less. And the loss, the completely unnecessary loss, and albeit it was obviously down to the red card, which, again, 5 in a row. It's just outrageous at this point. Obviously got the win against Lincoln, which barely. The second half performance from the get-go was obviously great in that game. Brighton, a loss, naturally, obviously, at home, in our own ground, against the team we destined to want to be, we desperately want to be, sorry. It's just laughable at that point. Take away Lincoln, which was a terrible performance, all things considered. You look at a draw against Brentford, a loss to Bayern Munich, a loss to Manchester United, and a loss to Brighton. It's a really poor run of form early doors in a season. And fair play to Enzo Maresca for doing something about it, rectifying it in some way, shape, or form. That way being not even draws, but wins. A win against Benfica, a huge win right before an international break, the penultimate one of the 25 calendar year. And then to return with, again, we will get into this in a second. I need to stop saying that. Like, every time I'm talking, majority of the thing I say, that I'd say the most repeated sentence on these pods is, we'll get into that in a second. But we'll get into that in a second. Nottingham Forest, huge result. Terrible first half. But we got it over the line. For the Liverpool game, you look at Liverpool, right? Let's just talk about Liverpool for a second, because they are going through some really tough times right now. Some very, very tough times right now. I'm looking. I'm just perusing. I'm just looking through at their fixtures. I'm scrolling through FOTMob. Sponsor me, FOTMob, if possible. I use one on a daily basis. Easily the best one out there. But I'm trying to find. Nearly got one there. Bournemouth 1-0, Real Madrid 1-0, Man City 4-1. I'm trying to find the last time that Liverpool won 4 games in all competitions in a row. And I'm currently back in 2022, people. It's been a damn long while. It's been a very, very long time since they last lost 4 games in a row. We had 3 in a row there. Brighton, Man City, and Leicester. But the point I'm making is it has been a long time. 2020, 4th of October, 7-2 to Aston Villa. I feel like that kind of goes under the rug a little bit, under the radar just a little bit. That 7-2 thrashing just seems to be a mystery at this point, something that no one really brings up at this point. Do you know what I mean? Consequently, same year. Oh, no, sorry, we lost to them. I thought it said that we won. And I'm still going. Absolutely mental is the point I'm trying to make. That was a close one. Dortmund. Oh, these are friendlies. They don't count. But the point I'm making is Arne Slot, this supposed savior, this supposed messiah that's supposed to sort of carry on what Klopp left behind and maybe even be better, maybe even do better than the GOAT manager of the modern era for Liverpool Football Club. Now that he doesn't have his adopted squad from Klopp, it's kind of all gone to shit. It's kind of all gone a little bit tits up. Listen, I'm back in 2015. I'm 10 years ago now. Here we go. I found it. I have found it. 1st of November 2014. Newcastle 1. Liverpool 0. It's poetry. 4th of November 2014. Real Madrid 1. Liverpool 0. The 8th of November 2014. At Anfield, Liverpool 1. Chelsea 2. It had to be that Chelsea were involved in the last time Liverpool lost 4 games in a row. It's poetry. We're always there. We're always involved in some way, shape, or form in these types of things, these types of moments. Football, Chelsea are always a part of history in this context. Crystal Palace made it the 4th loss in a row, 3-1 at Selhurst Park. Ricky Lambert with a second-minute goal. Dwight Gale, Ledley, and Jednak made it 3-1. Or Jednak, was it Jednak? Big beard. Burly bloke, wasn't he? Big burly beard bloke. But it's been a long old while. I need to take a screenshot of that. Ow. I've severely cut my thumb, by the way. And my goodness me, does it hurt? Oh, I can't even post it, though, because my Twitter is just not allowing me to post pictures. If anyone listening has any way to... So that the issue I've got, we're done with Liverpool. I've made the point I need to make. Just a quick one. If anyone knows, since the UK law change where sensitive content, and I use that loosely because I do not post sensitive content. I am not that type of page. But every picture or video or media related content that I post on my X account, it's banned. It needs to be approved. They're calling for handball there for a penalty for Liverpool. Michael Oliver says no. But yeah, all of my media content that I post on X is censored. So if anyone could help me out with that on how to fix that without having to make a new Twitter account, X account, that would be absolutely fantastic. With that said, let's move on to match week 8, of which, again, I'm still watching. We started the weekend with Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. Terrible, putrid, horrible, absolutely vile first half from both sides. Nottingham Forest, you can kind of understand. But from Chelsea, goodness me. Goodness gracious me. It was just diabolically bad. Really, really poor first half. And albeit Enzo Maresca, who was suspended, is suspended, or was for that one game. Maybe more. I feel like it might be just that one game because it's not it's only for serious foul play. if I'm not mistaken. So it's only a 1-game ban. He's back for the game. He's back for Ajax, that's for sure. But I think he'll be back for Sunderland because it's a 1-game ban. He was the 4th person to get a red card. So now we've got Robert Sanchez was sent off. We had Chalobah sent off. We had, was it Enzo? I feel like I'm forgetting. My memory. It's been so many red cards. I truly can't remember. Cody Gakpo's just hit the post. Biggest chance for Liverpool so far. Manchester United, obviously, Robert Sanchez. Did we get a red card? I don't think we didn't get a red card against Lincoln. Brighton, we got, it was obviously Trevor Chalobah with the red card there. Benfica, we got a red card. That was João Pedro, I forget. Then it was Enzo Maresca. And now, Malo Gusto. That's not out. Malo Gusto has not been the player that he was in his first season for Chelsea for quite some time. Last season was absolutely awful. This season, I feel like we've had glimpses of Malo Gusto of old. But he has turned into someone whose judgment, whose decision-making, whose mindset is flawed. It's all over the fucking place. I've had my suspicions on that red card against Nottingham Forest. Now, I want to preface this is just a theory. This is not an accusation per se. But Malo Gusto's red card smells a little dodgy, doesn't it? It smells a little fucking, smells a little, I don't know. You're 3-0 up. You're on a yellow card, which was avoidable in the first place. You're 3-0 up. 86th minute. You're in their half. They're in possession, and you make a really unnecessary slide tackle that is 100% going to get you sent off. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I feel like the bookies need to really look into, were there any sizable bets, or bets in general, for Malo Gusto to get sent off after that yellow card came through? Because they don't want to make it obvious. If anyone did bet on them, on Malo Gusto to get sent off, do you know what I'm saying? There needs to be an inquiry, I think, because 1 red card, sure. Okay, I get it. 2 red cards, it was unfortunate. It's just one of those things. It happens. Great chance for United. Oh, my word. Bruno Fernandes should have scored there. He should have scored there. 23 minutes on the clock. My goodness me. Him of all people in that position should be putting that away. Oh, he's got to score that. Jiminy crickets. But back to Malo Gusto. It just seemed really unnecessary to the point where it's like, have you got money on this? Do you know what I'm saying? Am I the only one? Am I actually the only person who's been a bit like, that was a bit weird, wasn't it? Not only was it totally reckless, beyond that, beyond his absolutely abysmal performance, it was just so avoidable. it wasn't even in a dangerous position. If he'd made it look somewhat more believable by, I don't know, doing it in our own half at least, then maybe sure. Okay, I wouldn't even think twice. But they were pretty much in their final third, running towards our goal. It wasn't even tracking back. So I'm thinking the odds of a red card for Chelsea for the 5th time in a row, technically 4th because the Lincoln game we didn't get a sending off, but it's the 3rd Premier League game in a row. We are at the very bottom of the fair play table, past Brighton, I think it was. We've overtaken or undertaken Brighton now as the worst disciplined squad in the league. Maybe even the country. 5 red cards, one of which our own manager is just absolutely ridiculously like it needs rectifying. It needs judgment. It needs justifying. Because and it is not justifiable in any way, shape, or form. Sunderland next. If we get a red card against them, it has to be a record. It just has to be. Like a recent record at the very least. I'm sure back in the day, there was probably a bit more. But then maybe not, because red cards were a lot more rare back then, surely. A lot more was allowed to happen back in, 70s, 80s, even the 90s, even the early 2000s, Since the old VAR and all that. Times have changed. The times have changed. Oh my God, what a chance for United! Liverpool look fucking shit. Oh. Dallow's missed it. My goodness me. But anyway, back to the Forest game. It's a woeful first half, a truly tragically poor first half that was very expertly turned around. Who do we give the praise to? Who do we give the plaudits to? Who do we give the applause to? Which bald individual do we give the praise to? Is it Enzo Maresca? Or is it Willy Caballero? I saw a tweet today where they were trying to explain who Willy Caballero was. Willy Caballero is not that recently retired. He's not even that recently left Chelsea, by the way. But I just want to get the tweet up. Willy, and I know a lot of accounts these days. There's one called The Touchline, I think. And it's just absolute shite. Enzo's assistant, Willy Caballero. Fun fact, he used to play with Messi. Oh, did he? Did he really? Yeah? Am I that old? I know I've just turned 30, people. But am I that old that Twitter accounts are needing to... I know there's some irony in the fact that I'm calling it Twitter and I refuse to call it X, maybe because I'm old. And I need to get with the times. But am I that old that Willy Caballero has to be explained to the younger generation? I suppose that's who it's aimed at. But explained to the younger generation of football viewers who he is. Who Willy Caballero is. Absolutely absurd. And they've baited me. They've baited me, hook, line, and sinker. Because I've taken the bait. I'm talking about it. They've got me. They've got me. And I'm fuming. I'm absolutely livid. Like I say, I've only just turned, the big 3-0. Don't want to talk about it, even though I've brought it up every chance I can. But the state of affairs with social media and football Twitter as a whole, just in the depths of fucking poo. It is just covered in it. All these accounts clickbaiting and trying their hardest to get engagement. It's just, I want to see factual information. I want to see genuine tweets. I don't want to see things where people are farming engagement and trying to get engagement. And it's just so poor. It's just so poor, and I don't care for it. I don't want to know. I don't want to see this. And they're all run by the same kind of... do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? These say they're all in the same group chat. These people who they buy these accounts. I'm fairly sure that this account was the Secret Scout or whatever it's called. And he's gone. He sold his account, and this bloke's just bought it. And is just absolutely running rampant on Twitter. And I can't escape it. I can't escape it. And it's all just shite. And he's getting like 20,000 likes a fucking pop. It's ridiculous. You know? Like, he's posted a picture. Screenshot. Conversation between Bruno Fernandes and Michael Oliver. Yeah? 100 likes in a minute. Wow! Wow! It's just so weird. Oh my god, the quality of these accounts is just so like, and people lap it up. I don't get it, man. I really don't understand. It's a strange state of affairs. It really is. And they're all run by the same people who like are all engaging with it. And anyway, the state of the table at the moment is a whole similar story. I've got to be said. I've got to be honest. Brilliant for us, might I say? All right, let's delve into it. I'm getting to that. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry, I know if you're listening, that sounds like I've been doing all sorts, but I can confirm. I've got Rufus's hair up my nose. He's not currently with us right now. He's in the living room. He's not dead. He is in the living room. And like I said, I groomed him. There's fur all over the fucking shop, and I'm convinced I'm allergic to him because it's tickling my uter. So working up from the bottom, like I was about to say, Christmas period. I reckon around, what are we saying? What's the crack with the calendar? All right. We look at the calendar. December. It'll be the 29th is the episode for whatever week that is. Oh my God. We do have a game on the Tuesday against Bournemouth, 8 p.m. kickoff at Stamford Bridge, which is fairly frustrating. But I will use that episode to go through my original Premier League predictions, my Premier League table predictions, because as it stands, if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm doing all right. Not great, but I think I'm doing okay. It's Isak, good chance. Wolves in 20th place, Not surprising there. I think I had them going down in like 18th place. They are categorically the worst team in the league. West Ham shortly creeping up the re. Forest, love it. Absolutely love it. I hook it to my veins. Nottingham Forest in the fucking mud. I love it. I absolutely love it. They were the sweethearts, weren't they? I feel like everyone liked Forest before it went all wrong for them last season towards the back end, of which we were a massive part of. Everyone liked Forest. Everyone wanted Forest to get into the Champions League. They wanted them to maybe even challenge for top 2, top 3, which they were in for a long, long time. And then it all went wrong. Marinakis, whatever his fucking name is the biggest dope owner of the last year or so. Hasn't got a Scooby, does he? Hasn't got a Scooby. Ange, what the fuck? I mean, I think I saw 7 million he's made from 39 days in charge. What the hell? He knew. He knew. After the game against Chelsea, he knew that his time was up. That's why he was in the centre circle clapping the fans, of which there weren't many. 14 minutes after the full-time whistle, he was sacked. Ange Postecoglou sacked 14 minutes after the full-time whistle. It's got to be a record. It's got to be some sort of record. Do you feel sorry for him? I don't think so. It is what it is. He was absolute pants. Not much else to really say about it, to be honest with you. Burnley, doing a Burnley. You know, no one's really surprised that they're in the 17th place, sort of teetering on the bottom. Brentford. I think I actually had Brentford being quite low this season. I can't remember what my table was. In fact, I'm not going to do it. I'll wait. I want to make a thing of it. I want to go through it like a reviewing the season so far. Leeds, I think I had Leeds going down, so they're actually doing all right in 15th, although they are only 3 points off of the bottom 3. Fulham, Newcastle in 13th place. Now, Voltemada is a fucking unbelievable player, and I'm quite jealous of the fact that they got him. We were obviously linked with him at some point, but he seems to be doing very well for them, although Newcastle as a whole not doing well at all, losing to Brighton most recently. Everton doing very well so far this season. 11 games, 8 games plays, 11 points is what I'm trying to say. Aston Villa, really shaky start. I think they were in, where would they have been? 9 points? I think they were in sort of like 15th place at the beginning of the weekend, but they now up to 11th. We're still in that position. We're still in that place in the season so far where, you know, all can change in the space of like a month. Brighton in 10th, pretty standard for them. Man United in 9th, but that is based on the fact that they are winning right now against Liverpool. At the moment, doesn't really look like it's going to change. Since their goal, though, it has kind of been all Liverpool. Manchester United have had a couple of big chances missed. Bruno Fernandes and a couple more. Liverpool with a cross headed away. Crystal Palace in 8th. It's all gone wrong for Oliver Glasner and his men, despite the fact Mateta getting a hat-trick. It does seem as though that their good form, their good run has come to an end. Not an awful end to the run, although losing to Everton is pretty bad. That said, they are in good form, like I said. Everton, I think. They're not in good form necessarily. What's their form like? 1 win in 5, and that's against Palace. So, you know, pretty shit, actually. But a draw against Bournemouth. Listen, Bournemouth are all right. Bournemouth are decent at the moment. They're actually all right. You know, 3rd place at the moment. We'll get to them. Sunderland in 7th, I think, is the absolute biggest surprise of anything so far this season that we've seen. I don't think anyone would have had them in the top 10, let alone in the top 7th place at this point. Tottenham, much like Manchester United, doing quite well. They've just lost to Aston Villa, and if I'm not mistaken, is their first loss since playing against who? Bournemouth. Oh, back on the 30th of August. Again, at home, their home record is pretty fucking terrible. Lost to Brighton as well, and lost to Crystal Palace, both of which were back in May. But the point is, their only losses in the last 4 losses have all come at home, including one against Aston Villa, but still pretty bad home form. Look at the table again. We've got Chelsea in 5th, 14 points. We are currently 5 points off of top place. We just have to keep winning. I know that's easier said than done and a pretty Michael Owens thing to say. Stating the bleeding obvious, but at the same time, it's nearly got all the way in there from that corner. Our next games to play in the Premier League up until the next international break. That's all we can look forward to. That's all we can do moving forward. Sunderland at home, gotta win. I don't care how good Sunderland are at the moment, what kind of form they're in. Our home record isn't fantastic, but we need to rectify that loss against, well, not really. We beat Liverpool, for fuck's sake. But still, rectify that loss against Brighton. Improve our home record. Tottenham away. Be interesting. Really would like to get a win in that game. We've got Wolves at home and then Burnley away. Oh, no, sorry. I tell a lie. It's just Sunderland, Tottenham and Wolves. All very winnable games. It's got to be said. I really do believe that they're all very winnable. So, yeah. I think Tottenham away is going to be hard. But I think that's my favorite game of the season is always Chelsea Tottenham or Tottenham Chelsea. It always delivers. Always delivers, you know. We'll very quickly go into the head-to-head in that one, just in the recent games anyway. 1-0 Tottenham, 1-0 Chelsea, sorry. 4-3 Chelsea, 2-0 Chelsea, 4-1 Chelsea, 2-0 Tottenham, 2-2. You know, it's goals galore. It's guaranteed goals, albeit the last one was 1-0. I think it's still got a little bit tasty, you know. Liverpool in 4th, currently losing to Manchester United, is just indicative of how poor their season has been so far. 5 wins, 0 draws, 3 losses, 13 goals scored with 10 conceded. Is absolutely shambolic. Absolutely abysmal. 3 losses. Am I right in thinking? They've nearly lost already in 8 games. As many games as they lost in 38 games last season. Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Bournemouth in 3rd. Absolutely fantastic from them. Their manager, obviously very sought after. A big name at the moment. Manchester City in 2nd place with 16 points. And Arsenal, the front runners, 3 points clear with just 3 goals conceded in their first few games. They are being touted to be the ones to break Chelsea's 15 goals conceded record. I think I saw Rory Talks Football prattling on about. At the moment, they're conceding 0.38 goals per game. And they would finish on 14.5 goals conceded if it carries on. They've already played Man City. They've already played Liverpool. Already played Newcastle, I think. So the big games that would normally cause them to concede goals, they've avoided. Good God, help us all. If Arsenal win, I fear football will be over. Football's already done, innit, at this point. I've not enjoyed football lately. It's just shit, innit? Arsenal win the league. Just call it a day. Just wrap this shit up. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see them celebrating. No one wants to see Arsenal fans happy, please. So I'm praying. I'm begging. Don't let it happen. With that said, let me know your thoughts on the last 2 game weeks in the comments down below. The It's Pod O'Clock is back. If you've got this far, please do like the video, subscribe. Let me know if you've got all the way to the end in the comments down below. Again, like the video, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. We've got game against Ajax midweek on Wednesday. So preview coming out tomorrow, Tuesday evening, before our game on Wednesday against Ajax, of course, ahead of our game against Sunderland on the weekend. As always, my name is Harry, out the Chelsea. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.